What's up, guys? It's Chief here, and welcome back to another FC26 video. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the official gameplay deep dive that EA dropped for FC26. In this, they go into some serious depth on some of the new features like playstyles, roles, and the two different versions of gameplay that you can use in FC26. Excited to break down these features and future FC26 details that get leaked. So let's go ahead and dive into this and see what we can find for the brand new game.
Make gameplay better. Those three words summarize our full focus this year. An overhauled gameplay experience that's responsive, rewarding, and powered by your feedback. Here's what's new. First, we separated gameplay into two presets. Competitive gameplay, customized for more responsiveness and player control in online modes. And authentic gameplay, tuned for more realism in offline modes, so that your experience is tailored to where and how you play. Second, we refined the gameplay fundamentals across all modes. Pace, passing, tackling, saves, physicality, everything to address your most requested changes. And third, we added a host of other exciting community-inspired features and updates, from new player roles and playstyles to a high contrast mode. Let's start.
All right, so just taking a look at that quick rundown of what they're going to hit on here in this video. So first of all, the two gameplay presets, I'm excited to see exactly how they describe these. Essentially, this competitive gameplay, it's again going to be for the online modes like Ultimate Team clubs, kind of all the stuff that I'm interested in, and it's supposed to be more like arcadey, fast-paced, fluid, which again is not really something we can judge until we get our hands on the game, but it's exciting that they're kind of taking that feedback into account. And then they're also going to have the authentic gameplay for stuff like career mode, kickoff, things like that, for people that want more realism to it. I'm excited to see how exactly that plays out, but we'll see what they have to say about those. Refined gameplay fundamentals, I don't know how much those are really going to mean to me in a video like this, because again, saying that passing and agility and things like that are more responsive, I don't know how much we can really judge that without the game. I'm really excited about this community inspired features and updates, because new play styles, new player roles, those are always going to be exciting things that get added to the game.
Playstyles to a high contrast mode. Let's start with the biggest change, and something you've been very vocal about: splitting gameplay into two separate experiences based on where and how you play. For the first time, online modes like Football Ultimate Team and clubs will have their own tailored gameplay preset called competitive gameplay, while offline modes like Manager and Player Career will default to authentic gameplay. Competitive gameplay is fast, dynamic, and attacking football that rewards you for skill, timing, and quick decision-making. It's designed to feel extra responsive, give you more control on the pitch, and deliver a more consistent gameplay experience. Passing feels quicker, dribbling feels more dynamic, the paciest players feel more explosive. We've even chosen the most responsive animations to keep matches feeling fast and smooth. Auto tackles and blocks are less common, encouraging you to take control in defense. And you'll be rewarded.
Now, that's a really interesting point. They're basically encouraging manual defending and telling people, like, you can't just let your center back sit there. They're not going to block stuff. They're not going to tackle. I honestly really like that. Number one, because it kind of encourages that attacking gameplay, and especially if the game is more responsive and quicker, it's going to make you manually defend more and actually increase the skill gap.
For great timing with fewer tackles bouncing back to your opponent. Goalkeepers will also parry the ball to safety more often, reducing the number of frustrating rebound goals that feel out of your control. Every detail of the competitive gameplay experience is built to deliver on those three community priorities: responsiveness, consistency, and control. Authentic gameplay.
I really like the points they're making here. Again, some of it is, I feel, not material right now, because it's just like, hey, it's going to be quicker, it's going to be more responsive. That's the hope. But if there's going to be a focus on manual defending, there's going to be a focus on keepers parrying the ball out of play rather than 4 rebound goals. Those seem like things that you can kind of quantify right now. And I think those are going to be huge changes. I love that they're splitting these gameplays up. This authentic section doesn't mean a ton to me, but that competitive gameplay, it seems like they're getting a lot of stuff right that we've been giving feedback on.
Our preset for career is immersive, realistic football that emulates how the real-world game looks, feels, and plays. Designed to deliver a simulation gameplay experience, from true physics to our most realistic animations, capturing the same pace and unpredictability that makes football great. Authentic gameplay will still feel responsive, but matches will be less rapid-fire than in FUT, giving that last-minute corner or goal-saving tackle the real-world gravitas that we know our career players love. And in contrast to competitive gameplay, things like AI defending will be tuned differently to reflect how important teamwork is in football. Although competitive and authentic are customized for different.
That's interesting to me that they put out there like the AI is going to be more tuned in the authentic, and in the competitive, it's basically again driving you to be more of a manual defender, which I love. That is a huge, huge win. Something as well to mention here is I think I saw Nepenthes say that a lot of the career mode community, there was a patch in like December, and it basically just like broke gameplay in career mode. It made it no fun anymore. So the fact that they can tweak these different versions of gameplay without kind of disrupting the other is a huge, huge win.
Different styles of play, you'll still be able to toggle between both presets in kickoff and career to tailor your gameplay experience. Our second big gameplay innovation for FC26 applies to both competitive and authentic gameplay. A focus on refining what we call the gameplay fundamentals: goalkeeping, agility, tackles and interceptions, passing and dribbling, attacking movement, and physicality. Here's what we've heard over the last year and how we reworked those fundamentals to address your feedback. Goalkeepers are inconsistent. Expect keepers to be smarter and more consistent in FC26. We're using machine learning to train them in hundreds of thousands of in-game situations to find the best positioning, including those little micro steps world-class keepers use to close the angle. Changing directions feels so heavy.
So something on the keepers again is that like they don't need to be just like better overall and more overpowered. They need to not be dumb, and there needs to be less rebound goals essentially. If consistency is truly what it is and it's not just buffing them, then I'm a huge fan of this. I don't think keepers need to be better overall. Is my concern that they just buff them entirely.
Players can now turn quicker and accelerate more explosively in any direction, making everyone feel more agile and responsive. And we've continued to tune the relative pace of players to ensure that the fastest players feel like the quickest ones on the pitch. Tackles and interceptions often bounce.
So the pace and agility I'm a fan of. It just again, there needs to be a reason to have pace, I would say. If people are more responsive, that's fine, but there needs to be a difference in the responsiveness between my 80 pace player and my 95 pace player. Make the agility stat matter. There needs to be still a difference rather than just buffing everybody entirely.
Back to my opponent. This is a big one we've dedicated hundreds of hours to improving, and now you'll be more likely to win the ball cleanly and retain possession in those moments. Passing and dribbling.
That's a game changer if they actually fix tackles and interceptions to the point where, like, if I'm manually making a challenge, reward me for that, have me win the ball, have my opponent stumble a little more. If I'm timing something correctly, let me come away with the ball.
Feels sluggish. Both of these are more responsive in FC26. Passing and dribbling will feel different between competitive and authentic, but they'll both be more fluid and reactive than last year to ensure that the game feels dynamic and in your control. My teammates need to make better runs. We agree that fluid attacking movement is key to fun and dynamic gameplay, and we've retuned the runs your teammates will make as you progress up the pitch to give you even more options and support.
Wow, that is a game changer because it feels like now in the game, if you don't trigger runs, your AI players don't do anything. So the fact that they're going to have basically better IQ and it feels like the attacking positioning stat might make a difference, more runs and just more attacking wise, again, it'll feel a little more arcadey, especially if it's faster and smooth. I'm a big, big fan of this. Again, the passing and dribbling, hopefully it feels more responsive like they say. It's just something we can't really judge until we get to play it.
I can't protect the ball when pressed. We've created brand new ways for you to use physicality to shield the ball in FC26. By pressing the shield button, you can now seal off your opponent as they try to press you or bump them with your shoulder as you dribble to make a bit of space. Low drivens used to be great, We're bringing back a community favorite mechanic and improving on it. Low drivens can now be triggered on demand by double tapping the shoot button, and this can be applied to all shot types, allowing you to turn your finesse or power shots into low drivens with a second tap. This also replaces timed finishing, meaning that precision shooting will now become the primary skill-based mechanic for scoring goals.
So that is massive information on both fronts there. First, the physicality, I think, is something they absolutely have to get right because if you're making agility more responsive, you're making dribbling better, you're making pace a big deal, there needs to be a reason to have those bigger players. And they're going to talk about heading later on as well. It seems like that's going to be improved, but you need to buff these other mechanics like physicality so that those players that aren't like the short, quick archetype still have value. And then shooting here, a big one is that they're removing timed finishing, which has been a big point of contention in the community because while it does provide a skill gap, how worth it is it, especially with precision shooting in the game now? So, precision shooting is going to be your main point where the skill gap is, and you're going to be able to apply low driven to any shot type. Which, if you remember, like, I don't know, was it FIFA 19, FIFA 20, that era, the low driven finesses, the low driven shots with Player of the Month Son, they were absolutely broken.
Each of these updates to gameplay fundamentals is designed to address the most common feedback we get, and together set a better foundation for the overall gameplay experience in FC26. Another widely requested feature we're excited to add this year is high contrast mode. We've made high contrast mode customizable so you can create a visual experience that's best for what you need. You'll be in control of the colors of each team, the keepers, the ball, the referee. And you'll even be able to turn off player or stadium shadows, plus adjust the overall pitch saturation. We've also added simplified.
Turning off player and stadium shadows is an absolute game changer. The high contrast mode is interesting. It gives me vibes of like stretched res in Fortnite when that was super popular. Like all the pro players are going to be using this high contrast mode. It's just easier to pick your players out. So that's something. And I'm interested to see how many creators go to that and how many people, like viewer wise, would rather see a normal colors or if they'd like to see that kind of high contrast mode.
You'll even be able to turn off player or stadium shadows, plus adjust the overall pitch saturation. We've also added simplified skill moves, allowing you to perform a relevant skill with a simple flick of the right stick in a given direction. We're introducing 5 new.
So that's one that I'm not 100% sure about is this skill move simplification. I feel like skill moves are a nice skill gap for people that are able to perform the correct ones at the right time. Just being able to flick the right stick and it do some sort of skill move for you. I don't know that I love it. I'm interested to see how it gets implemented actually. So let me know what you guys think about that. That's a little bit of a weird one for me. Now, we've got new play styles here, which is
Relevant
very
skill with a
interesting.
simple flick of the right stick in a given direction. We're introducing 5 new playstyles in
Yeah,
FC
let's pause it there. Hey,
26.
sit. Sit. Let me get those play styles back up here. We got 5 new play styles.
We're introducing 5 new playstyles in.
There we go. So they're going to hit on all these, but I believe this is the precision header one on the left. And then we've got like flare passer, flare shooter, or flare shooter, flare passer. You've got enforcer, which is essentially like almost like bruiser. These two are more like physicality based, I believe.
FC26. Precision header, aerial fortress, game changer for those flare finishers, inventive for flare passers, and enforcer, which dials up those improvements to off-ball shielding. You will also see new player roles in FC26.
I'm interested to see. It feels like whenever they implement something new like this, it's super OP at the beginning. So like our header's going to be crazy good at the beginning of FC26. Is on-ball shielding going to be super good if you have that play style? I really want to see that. And something we'll get into in a future video is that they have mentioned that like stats are going to be a bigger deal and play styles kind of reduced. Because it feels like in FC25, like if you don't have the tiki-taka play style or ping pass play style, your player cannot pass. Like they're almost not usable. So it's going to be interesting to see how they balance those, especially with the new play styles.
That epitomize the modern game. Ball playing keeper, wide back, inverted wing back, and box crasher. Just like the other player roles,
Okay, new roles here. I like that. Again, I feel like they're all relatively intuitive based off of the names, just more ways to customize how your players play, which I really like.
these new roles are opportunities to customize your tactical approach and push beyond a rigid formation. Great gameplay is at the heart of what makes an FC game fun. That's why we're so excited about FC 26. The split of competitive and authentic gameplay allows us to customize and improve your experience based on where and how you play. And refined fundamentals across the game deliver on your feedback, making gameplay more responsive, consistent, and rewarding. There's so much more coming to FC 26. Look out for more info in our
Whoa, whoa,
upcoming
whoa.
deep
Let's see what they put in here. Again, a ton of good stuff there. They ripped through a quick list here of all these new things.
your feedback, making gameplay more responsive, consistent, and rewarding. There's so much more.
Manager Live, whatever that means. Archetypes are in the most recent trailer that I need to make a video on. New icons, repeatable evos is something that have been mentioned. And it basically, I think it's something along the lines of like, this Evo will give your player, I think the example Nepenthez gave was +4 finishing. So I could put on Marmouche a +4 finishing. And then the next day I could do it again, maybe. And then the next day I do it again. And eventually I get +12 finishing. I could apply that to different players, whatever it may be. And we've seen that a little bit in FC 25 here, where they give us multiple editions of an evolution. So we can do it on multiple players.
Coming to FC 20.
Live events, I think, are a huge one, like the tournaments and stuff that really get people engaged in the game. And then DC improvements, would love to hear more on that because nobody likes a disconnect.
26. Look out for more info in our upcoming deep dives, pitch notes, and on social. And pre-order the FC 26 Ultimate Edition now to get an icon today in FC 25, plus a debut icon in FC 26 at launch, an extra active Evo slot, up to 6,000 FC points, and more.
An extra Evo slot at the beginning is an absolute game changer. Again, let me know if you guys have pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition. I am locked in and ready to go on that. I cannot wait for FC 26. Let me know if you guys are getting it, what version you're getting, but that is going to be it for the official gameplay deep dive. Let me know what you guys want to see next in terms of FC 26 content, and I'll catch you in the next video.